This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
An emotional one because of the extraordinary connection that this team has built with Canadians over more than 5.5 decades.
Tonight, why Canada's famed Snowbirds will be grounded and what it means for their summer home in the Comox Valley.
When I see Pacific white-sided dolphins, they're out in the open ocean and they're fast-moving animals, so definitely discouraging to kind of see them all bunched up in a small pool.
Why this pod of marine mammals was stuck in a tidal pool on the mid-island and how they managed to get free. Plus, Adam finds out the story behind a man who's searching for beauty in unexpected places. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. After more than 5 decades of service, the federal government is retiring the fleet of Canada's iconic Snowbirds. 2026 will mark the farewell flying season for the team's current jets, and it remains unclear when new aircraft will be purchased to return the team to the skies. CTV's Graham Richardson reports.
2026 will be a farewell season for the Snowbirds in these iconic jets. The Tudors are finally being retired after more than 55 years in the air.
This is a significant moment, and it is an emotional one because of the extraordinary connection that this team has built with Canadians over more than 5.5 decades. This decision was not taken lightly.
The Defence Minister announcing Canada will replace the aging jets with these, the new Siskin 2 prop planes, not a full jet. And it's not clear when Canada will take delivery of them.
We need to work with the manufacturer. We need to make sure that we receive them in graduated form. It will take some time for them to roll off the production line. But we're moving as quickly as we possibly can.
The government says it remains committed to Moose Jaw and the Snowbirds, but starting in 2027, the fleet will be grounded for several years.
I inherited a situation where the planes literally had come to the end of their lives. They were unique in many respects. They didn't have the parts and other things to safely fly. So the Snowbirds will continue, and new planes are being commissioned and will arrive.
The Snowbirds alumni called this a profoundly disappointing decision. They also point out the new planes are propellers. No other G7 nation flies aerobatic teams without full jets.
It wouldn't have been our first choice. You can't perform the same kind of show with a turboprop trainer that you can with a jet.
The mayor of Moose Jaw says there are mixed emotions for his town today.
The Snowbirds are cherished to all of us. They are part of our fabric.
So there's still a lot of unanswered questions here. How long will it take the government to buy these new planes? When will they arrive in Moose Jaw? How long will the Snowbirds be grounded? But most importantly, when will they fly again? Graham Richardson, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
The Snowbirds have soared above the skies above Vancouver Island for decades. The squad even calling Royal Canadian Air Force Space 19 Wing Comox its summer home. CTV's Andy Garland has a reaction to the team's grounding from an island perspective.
Every spring for the past 55 years, the Canadian Snowbirds called the Comox Valley their second home.
Think of the Snowbirds, you kind of just think of Canada.
At this barbershop today in Courtenay, the talk of the town was that the Snowbirds won't be taken to the skies around here anymore until sometime in 2030.
That's a little while away.
That is a while away. Yeah.
Aviator Barbershop is sad to see them be grounded for the foreseeable future and has a connection to some of the pilots when they're in town.
Some of them usually come by for some haircuts, and it's nice chit-chatting with them and talking about what they do.
Well, that's their 55th year, what is now their final.
The iconic aircraft mean so much to the Comox Valley that when they come every spring to train, Courtney's mayor would proclaim those days as Snowbird days.
Just to say thank you to them. We really appreciate all that they're doing. Obviously, again, it's entertaining for us, but it's really critical for that recruitment side of things.
And when you come into the valley from the inland highway, the first thing you see is a Snowbird Tudor aircraft displayed at the visitor center, a symbol of the Comox Valley for half a century, which is something the Comox mayor takes great pride in.
It's something we're known for in the Comox Valley, and so I would just encourage people to go take a look at the museum, learn about the Snowbirds.
It was a trainer aircraft.
The BC Aviation Museum in North Saanich has the first ever snowbird on display beside another iconic aircraft, the Martin Mars. The president of the museum flew the same Tudor jet twice when he was a pilot in training for the Canadian Forces.
A lot of fun. This is the kind of airplane everybody should have in their driveway.
He was deeply disappointed to find out that this will be the last year of the Snowbirds for quite some time.
Just ending it suddenly at the end of this year without continuing it to 2030 is something that everybody's going to really feel heavy on their hearts about.
To date, the last time you'll be able to look to the sky and see the Snowbirds in action on the island is August 4th in Victoria. Andy Garland, CTV News, the Comox Valley.
The first case of Hantavirus in Canada has been confirmed, and the patient is in the care of Island Health. Over the weekend, Canada's Public Health Agency says testing at the National Microbiology Lab in Winnipeg confirmed the result. The patient is a Yukon resident in their 70s and is being treated in a Victoria hospital. A second person traveling with that individual has tested negative. In total, 4 passengers from the cruise ship arrived in Greater Victoria last week. 3 continue to isolate in Island Health hospitals. The 4th is isolating at home. BC's Provincial Health Officer Dr. Bonnie Henry stresses this virus is not the same as COVID-19 and is not considered to have pandemic potential. A 22-year-old man has been sentenced for multiple sexual offenses on the West Shore, one of which involved a child. Brody Mullen pleaded guilty to sexual interference and exposing his genitals to a person under 16. It happened in September 2025. A girl was playing in the schoolyard at Eagleview Elementary when she was approached by the suspect, who exposed himself and touched the child in a sexual manner. Mullen was sentenced to 20 months in prison. That sentence will be followed up by another 3 months in jail for a second crime from April of the same year, committing an indecent act in a retail store in Langford. Starting today, you can now tap your debit or credit card to ride a BC Transit bus, just like paying for your coffee or groceries. A regular fare to board the bus is just a tap away. Cards linked to Apple Wallet, Google, and Samsung Pay on your phone are also accepted. If you pay with the same card twice in one day, you will automatically receive fare capping benefits.
See it as an opportunity. When transit is accessible and easy to use, people are more likely to make it part of their everyday lives and become a lifelong rider. Cash is always going to be an accepted form of payment. You can use the UMO app, where you can download the app and load payment fare into the app. There's a UMO card you can get from select vendors to load money onto that. And now you have this new option to use debit, credit, or a mobile wallet across Samsung, Google, or Apple.
Those eligible for discounted rates will still need to use the UMO system, which allows riders to load the app or a physical card from their phone. In total, the project cost $24.8 million and was funded by the federal, provincial, and local governments. A major bridge upgrade project will mean faster transit trips in the capital region. New priority bus lanes have been finished on the Colquitts River Bridge, leading in and out of downtown Victoria. The province says the on-shoulder lanes will improve travel times to and from the West Shore for roughly 300 buses every day. The $33.5 million project also seismically upgraded the bridges and installed new decks. This is another section of the larger Mackenzie interchange to Colwood bus lane project, expected to be finished next year. Pickleballers on southern Vancouver Island can rejoice. Victoria is getting a first-of-its-kind pickleball festival. The 3-day competitive event will be held in late August at the city's brand-new courts at Topaz Park. Organizers say there are pickleball tournaments in other parts of Canada, but this will potentially be the country's first festival, with an outdoor vendor market, food trucks, and live musical performances. Pickleball is one of Canada's fastest-growing sports and has seen a 340% increase in participation over the past 5 years. That's according to stats from Pickleball Canada. Festival organizers are hoping to register upwards of 350 participants for the summer event.
I call it the UN of racket sports. So you can bring together people that have had tennis, badminton, squash, all together on one court and have an equal playing advantage. I think all ages can play together from 9 to 90, and they still have fun, and you still can rally, and you always are smiling.
The event takes place August 28th to 30th, with registration opening on July 5th online. A Comox Valley wildlife photographer captured a rare sight in Qualicum Beach Saturday, a pod of white-sided dolphins stranded in a tidal pool. Nick Thornton says he was already heading south for a gig when his whale locator app pinged him, notifying that the pod of dolphins had become entrapped in a tidal pool. He made a stop on his way south in hopes he could lend a hand freeing the animals, but once he realized the mammals weren't in distress, he captured this video. Thornton says staff members from the Department of Fisheries and Oceans were on site, keeping people back and monitoring the situation. The photographer says thankfully the tidal pool was deep enough and it appeared they were just waiting out the tide change.
I'm a wildlife enthusiast and I'm often out shooting a lot of wildlife photography, and typically when I see Pacific white-sided dolphins, they're out in the open ocean and they're fast-moving animals, so it's definitely discouraging to kind of see them all bunched up in a small pool. And to see them kind of in a different light, bit of an unfortunate situation. But again, you know, it's a unique encounter for myself, and happy that I was there to document it.
DFO says around 6 p.m. the high tide came in and the dolphins managed to swim away back into the Strait of Georgia.
16 degrees in Victoria right now, and looks like that's going to end up as the daytime high for today. Should see some sunshine and temperatures back to around 20 tomorrow. Full look at the rest of the week ahead right after the break.
Well, Josh, we're coming off a long weekend and I'm hearing patio weather is in the forecast.
Yeah, temperatures are going to warm up nicely. If you remember back to before the long weekend, we were talking about the fact that there was a nice little upper ridge that was going to start to build in. That was going to bring us back some heat. That is still on track to roll in. 15 now in Victoria after a high of 16. Port Alberni at 20. We'll be up around 20 or 21 for a daytime high in Victoria tomorrow. It looks like the wind should be fairly light. Had a couple scattered showers across parts of the South Island. A little bit of increased cloud cover here back further to the north. I think these spotty showers are going to fizzle out here through the early evening hours. We get some clearing overnight tonight. And for a lot of the island, you're looking at mainly sunny skies for tomorrow. Little bit of a different story as we make our way into northern parts of the island. There's that upper ridge, this bulge of warm air that presses all the way to the north and helps to keep things nice and mild. It does, by the coming weekend, drop off to the south, and so there's some slightly cooler air that'll move in, and that'll bring back the chance for some showers as we head into Saturday, Sunday. But for the next couple of days, looks pretty good. Partly cloudy, 14 in the north tomorrow, 15 and 16 for highs into Thursday, Friday, and then there's your chance of some showers or rain for Saturday, Sunday. Inland areas into the mid-20s. For the next 3 days. 26, partly cloudy tomorrow. A little extra cloud cover Thursday, sunshine and 25 on Friday. Looks dry for most of the weekend. Late Sunday, you might see some showers. Out on the west coast, highs of 18 for the next 3 days and dry. It's a couple of degrees above average. Chance of some showers Saturday night. Rain in the forecast on Sunday as that ridge collapses. There's Comox, low 20s, mainly sunny tomorrow. A bit of cloud cover Thursday, back to sunshine for Friday. It's still dry on Saturday and still nice and warm. Back closer to average, though, with the chance of some late day showers on Sunday. In Nanaimo, mid-20s tomorrow, 24 degrees, mainly sunny skies, light wind. Get to about 21 or 22 Thursday, Friday. Again, there's a bit of cloud cover on Thursday, but mainly sunny for Friday, Saturday. Nice warm start to the weekend, 16 and mostly cloudy on Sunday. Sunday night, you might see some showers in the Nanaimo area. Same goes for Victoria. Sunday night, maybe a few showers, but dry until then. Look at these temperatures, 17 degrees, the average daytime high. We get into the mid-teens today. We'll get to around 20 or 21 for tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Still high teens, close to 20 on Saturday. And mainly sunny skies for most of the next couple of days. Light wind tomorrow. We get a bit of cloud cover Thursday. Wind may pick up a little bit on Thursday, but should be pretty calm to go along with those warm temperatures and the sunshine for Friday and Saturday. So, yeah, Nafisa, you said patio weather off the top. That looks pretty good. And for much of the island, the first half of the weekend looks dry as well. Later Sunday, you might see some showers work their way in.
All right, thanks, Josh. Canada's inflation rate rose to 2.8% in April, driven by higher gas prices from the war in Iran. Statistics Canada says gas prices rose 28.6% year over year in April after rising 5.9% in March. Prices for clothing and footwear also went up 2% in April after posting a 0.4% decline in March. The report also said rent price growth slowed the most here in BC, up 3.4% in April. That's down from a 6.4% increase in March. As we approach the start of the FIFA World Cup, a Vancouver painter known as the Athlete Artist has put the finishing touches on a tribute to some of soccer's most inspiring stars. It involves a symbolic team comprised of players who, as children, were displaced by war or violence. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more.
2 years after first picking up a brush, Carling Jackson was painting full-time. Her self-taught method boils down to this.
So I use Renaissance techniques on athletes.
But what she's working on in her downtown Vancouver studio represents something much bigger than just her brush strokes.
Germany, Canada, Bosnia, Iraq, France, Australia.
Jackson is bringing to life a symbolic soccer team for the UN Human Rights Agency, made up of pro players with refugee backgrounds, athletes whose childhoods were shaped by war, displacement, or violence before they rose to the top of the sport. They are pictured standing alongside their younger selves, which requires some guesswork by the artist.
9 of these players did not have any photos of them when they were little. So they have nothing. So this is the first time they're going to see themselves when they were little.
The team's captain is Canada's captain, Alfonso Davies, who was born in a refugee camp in Ghana 5 years before his family settled in Edmonton.
It's a place where they gave my family safety. They welcome us in with open arms. If you give refugee an opportunity to be who they are, they'll become, amazing people.
The project is a perfect fit for Jackson, whose own soccer career was ended by injury. She then paired her lifelong interest in human rights and fighting injustice with art and sport.
My goal was to be able to get to a point where I could do 50-50 human rights and sports and use the money I make from sports to pay for human rights projects.
Jackson believes she is now the most commissioned sports artist in the world.
There's not been a single woman who's made it this far, so, I love that. Women are paid 4% of what men make in the art world, similar to sports.
Ahead of the FIFA World Cup, this painting will soon hang at the UN headquarters in New York, and a copy will be on display at Toronto's Union Station, part of the More Than a Game campaign, celebrating how the sport can help refugees build new lives.
When people are given safety and opportunity, they can achieve the impossible.
These 11 athletes are the proof. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Coming up, Finding Beauty. Adam finds out why a man is stopping to take photographs of junk. Next on the Sawatsky sign-off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out the story behind a man who's searching for beauty in unexpected places on the Sawatsky sign-off.
Well, Angus MacDonald is searching for something specific.
Oh my God, look at that mess over there.
He pauses his hunt to take a picture of what many might dismiss as junk.
Yeah, I know it's junk, but that's the beauty.
Beauty in the
junk? Sure.
Sure, there are interesting shapes and textures and colors, but Angus is also seeing something else.
I mean, there's 1,000 cars over there. Each has a story.
After Angus wonders how each driver's life might be unfolding, he reveals his life began being out of focus.
I couldn't see it, cold blur.
So you can imagine how young Angus must have felt to get his first camera and figure out how to use its lenses to capture the world around him with not just creativity, but clarity.
To take a picture and then see it, and that's probably led me into ophthalmology.
For decades, Angus worked as a successful eye surgeon, running a prestigious practice.
Constantly on the go. And then at some point I said, is this all there is?
Well, Angus answered that question by picking up a camera again and found there was so much more.
Sort of pull back a little bit from the freneticism of our normal world and just be in the moment.
Now, this has become a daily meditation of sorts, using his camera to get out of his head and feel something in his heart.
All of a sudden, oh God, look at that little thing. Now there's a story here.
A story about how something so delicate can demonstrate so much strength.
The little flowers, courage to grow through the rock.
A story Angus is constantly searching to tell with his camera because it's so perennially inspiring.
Against all odds, you can do it.
Just like a boy with blurry vision can grow up to be a doctor who restores sight before becoming a photographer who focuses on the beauty we're often too busy to see.
Beautiful things everywhere. If you just step back, take a breath, and look. That is cool over there. I'm going to go photograph that thing. Let's go.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
I love his enthusiasm. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.